Absolutely extraordinary.
What's up guys, Manime here, and today I wanted to talk about a certain anime that just went viral, and that anime is ReZero. You see, I've got a bone to pick with this anime because I too was a massive fan of ReZero. I enjoyed how the show meshed so many different genres and overarching themes into one show. I watched this show on a weekly basis from episode 1, and each episode just blew my mind. Overall, this anime is excellent. I would highly recommend you watch it if you haven't already. But today I will be focusing on where ReZero failed, and also about how many other anime make this same mistake. There are many key components to making a good anime. You have animation quality, character development, world building, story, themes, and a good catharsis. Now, notice how a good catharsis is at the end of that list. Oh, by the way, for those of you who don't know what a catharsis is, in film terms, it mostly means how the show ends and how everything is just kind of wrapped up. This is generally an overlooked detail in many anime, so much so that when a show does a good ending, it really does put it a tier above the rest. The reason why most shows don't really put much effort into making a solid ending is because it's at the end of the anime. If your audience made it to the last episode already, they already like your show. The main thing the animators need to do is just not fuck it up at this point. So maybe just have kind of a boring cliche ending versus taking a risk in ending an anime in an unexpected way. Now, never pull a gangster where you end the first season as basically like a giant cock tease for the second season. That's a sure way to make sure your studio goes under. But at least make sure you keep true to the story and the world they are in. Unfortunately, ReZero made this mistake and didn't put much thought into how the show would end. I know there's a lot of debate on whether or not the ending was good, so I'm basically just gonna throw my hat into the race and say I think the answer is no. Now granted, as previously stated, I really enjoyed ReZero, but my main bone to pick with them is that their catharsis, well, it cheated. So let me go back. When I listed major points that made an anime good, one of the things I listed was themes. This is definitely one of the strongest points in the show. One of ReZero's most prominent themes is failure. I hope I don't need to provide any evidence of that. Yeah, but its main point is, look, Subaru is this guy who has this, spoiler warning, Subaru is this guy who has this insane power to be able to return to checkpoints every time he dies. Despite having this insane power, we see Subaru constantly struggling to get things in a position to save as many lives as possible, and failing a lot. Either way, the theme of failure instills this idea that no matter how many times Subaru tries, he will never get the perfect outcome. This theme is what made this show so amazing. Here is this guy thinking he's gonna be this knight in shining armor, turned into someone who is constantly struggling to survive. Most other shows would have done some sort of training montage where he continuously kills himself and becomes this super powerful person, but this never happens in ReZero. That's because another major theme of this show is realism. Honestly, who has the balls to constantly kill themselves? Every time we see Subaru die, we see this face of pure fear, because fun fact of the day, dying isn't fun. So let's get back to my main point. The two major themes of this show is realism and failure. Yet the last few episodes might as well have just been a fucking fairy tale. Like literally no one died, Subaru saves the day, and Amelia creams herself watching him. Like that goes back on the major themes of this show ingrained in us. It ignores realism and any sense of failure, which we've established are the major themes in this show. Now, I've asked around for people's opinions to see what their views are, so I'm gonna debunk a few of those right quick. The first one is, well, this is only the first season. Yeah, that is true. They are totally setting up for a second season. That doesn't justify ignoring your show's main message. Now, I'm not saying kill Subaru or any of the main cast, but just make it more realistic. Honestly, what I was expecting was some sort of noble sacrifice from one of the prominent side characters. I was expecting either Ricardo or Wilhelm to, like, die. Not any of this die and come back to life because Felix just so happened to be nearby sort of thing. Sorry, Felix, I love you, but you're just way too OP. The main reason for this is because if there is no noble sacrifice, then what was the price for all of this? A general rule in the theme of realism is that in these kinds of conflicts, even if you win, you still lose in some way. The second argument I hear when I bring up this debate is that Subaru's suffering is enough to pay this imaginary toll. My honest response to it is no, it is not enough. Now, could it have been enough? Yes, and let me explain what I mean by that. If Subaru's suffering had permanently scarred him in some way, physical or mental, then I would have counted that as enough. Now, it's easy to say Subaru is permanently scarred from all the horrible shit he's seen. Yeah, but he doesn't actually show any real signs of it. After being tortured by Betelgeuse, I thought it was Betelgeuse, but My anime list disagrees. He's able to walk right up to him a life or two later with like no real fear and is able to just bluff his way right past him. Like shit, you should be mortified of this dude. This is just one of those many examples where Subaru is just able to instantly get over being tortured. To name just a few other situations where this happened, you have Puck, who brutally murdered him, and the famed Rim murdering him a couple of times, and you know how that relationship turned out. Overall, I enjoyed the anime, but to me, it's clear that they took the easy way out by having this knight in shining armor ending, despite it defeating the two dominant themes this show established. This is not just ReZero either. A lot of shows overlook their endings, and to me, the ending of a show should really be the strongest point. The best example I can think of off the top of my head is Hanasaka Iraha, shameless self-promotion, where the ending of the show took the anime from a 6 to an 8 in my book. Anyway, you guys, I hope you enjoyed the video. If you disagree with me, don't be afraid to comment down below and try to convince me otherwise. I'm always open to other people's opinions. If you like my content, don't be afraid to subscribe. I upload anime-related videos twice a week. As usual, make sure you guys share, like, comment, and subscribe. This is Man Matt. Make sure you guys say, man, go watch that goddamn anime!